What's up, my man? How are you, sir?
Good. My team is something special.
I am streaming this, by the way. So,
Yeah. That
like,
wasn't
like
that wasn't a
right, like,
negative com
like right now.
yeah. I know it wasn't a negative comment.
Okay.
My team's amazing.
Hmm. Understood. Now, let's see here.
A
Go
lot of
ahead.
big faces in here.
Definitely. Don't remember which one that one is. I need to actually copy the URL. The fuck. I went to the wrong one.
Traveling to Hanamura.
Alrighty, first map is gonna be Hanamura 2CP map. Not as bad as Horizon Lunar Colony here. No,
Do you know what the maps are for the day?
not to my knowledge. No, I do not. That's the right one. Alrighty, fantastic. Alrighty.
Ready for battle.
Okay. The All-Star game. I don't even know the teams. I don't even know the names of the teams, but we'll just go with blue team and red team. Because why not? For originality points. We have, let's see here, a standard Zarya Ryan comp with a hand soap and a Junkrat, as well as the Brig and the Anna. SC actually playing Anna. Yeah, grand total 3. He stopped laughing. SC playing the Ana. Kind of rare since he's more well known as a Lucio player, but Stara on the bona fide Brigitte here. And as for red team here, then we're gonna see also. It looks kind of like a dive. Is the scene Queen Armory? Well, I didn't know the teams. I didn't see it at the time. It looks like a dive composition, kind of more or less actually. It looks like the engagement's gonna go ahead and start. It looks like they're positioning themselves on point relatively well. Minimac getting a pick on two bats. DJ's gonna go ahead and take SC out, and it looks like, my word, blue team just cleans up house relatively quickly. They actually had themselves positioned pretty well on point in case of the dive, just because Hanamura's first point is more of an enclosed space, and you can't really work with an enclosed space if you're playing dive. So, well done by Scene Queen Armory here. Or Armor. I don't care. They're going to go ahead and drop the Doom Fist. They're going to go ahead and drop that, and they're going to actually go Soldier Pharah. But with Minimac being exposed in his current position, he's got to make a YOLO dive out. Right now he's just getting berated by Pharah here, and he's going to get picked off in the back line early, not giving the blue team here their main tank and their barrier as well. Looks like Sin is just trying to pick apart the back line and just go after the healers here. D-Fuel gets a charge onto Stara though, and Sin is going to take out the other healer, kind of more or less solidifying Lawful's Disobedience's presence on this point here. Looks like it's going to be a very solid grab with just under 2:15 left on the clock here. Looks like Minimac charging in, going bonafide YOLO Dolo here, as Bats will pick him off again, displacing the barriers for this team. And it looks like DJ is going to pick up on Weeaboo with the Helix Rocket, and Nub's out of position as well. Bats getting the 2K, and Walton with the tactical crouching. Yeah, it was a big move for Mini, you're absolutely correct. Bats throwing out the Coalescence here. SC missing this Sleep Dart. Kind of pivotal, actually. Could have decided the team fight here. And it looks like the Nano's gonna come out, the grab's gonna come out, the wombo combo here. DJ's in the back line. Gets M3 with 2 with the dragon. SC denying the usage of that sound barrier. Actually removing it from him as well. Well done. They have a bona fide defense, but the problem is once they have this aggro, they're more or less collapsing under the pressure. It's just because Mini is out of position, you know, in the current times that they were getting pretty much mauled on. And Minimac's gonna have to be more conservative with how they're playing right now, because they're playing a more conservative play style. They have the Junkrat and they have the Hanzo, whose key intentions is for aim and, you know, positioning. With, you know, that happening and stuff like that, it's not gonna work out necessarily. We have this gonna come out with the tire, getting 2 Defuel and DJ here, kind of just more or less forcing Lawful to reset here. And Batswing is out of position, and actually M3 is going to go ahead and pick up that quick, cheeky little ult charge as Walton goes ahead and picks up Minimac again. Minimac getting a little too aggro for the liking and barely escaping. Looks like Star coming up pretty close on the Coalescence here. Actually, is going to have it for this fight. Minimac already has the Shatter as well, but they've got 4 ults coming up on the side of Lawful here. And it is just a matter of whether they are going to initiate with 1 or 2 ults. So Minimac sitting up on the top bridge, and he's gonna try to he tried to get a little sneaky charge snipe here, but Minimac being able to pick people off, denying using the Shatter to eliminate a res is a good idea, but it wasn't really necessary, in my honest opinion. You could have, I don't know if he had a charge on cooldown or not, but if he did, it probably would have been a lot more, it probably would have been useful, technically. Yep, and see, because Bats tried to res, you know, it didn't really work with that. M3 just pixel peeking the lines on the barrier there and just picking them off clean. DJ did switch to his Genji though. Yep. And they're actually going to reset the board here. They've got 4 ults online on the side of Scene Queen, and it's going to be 4 ults, almost 5 ults on the side of Lawful Disobedience here. So, all about how they use these ults here decides this team fight. And it looks like SC is going to be coming up on his nano boost as well. They're probably going to go for the wombo combo, the dragon grab here, and his DJ getting pushed. Ooh. Very good tire here. Tire's gonna come out, and it's gonna get nothing, but it looks like, yep. Oh, DJ getting caught in the trap, killing Weeaboo, but Weeaboo's gonna fire back with the passive. Looks like they will have 3 ults online here for Lawful, but on the same side of the coin though, they wasted too many ults on Scene Queen here. They used the grab, they used the dragon, and they used the tire, but they shouldn't have used the nano. The nano should have been more or less used for, you know, something of a survivability purpose, you know, and in case somebody's gonna die, you use it quickly. Graviton's gonna come out, getting only Minimac though, but DJ is gonna go ahead and dash through that grab and not care in a world. Getting another one with SC, and Seb picking off M3 as well. It looks like Weeaboo is going to fire back and kill DJ, and Nub's going to kill Walton. Barrage is going to come out, getting only 1, or no, scratch that, make that 2 with the Barrage here. And it looks like Seb, with how high his energy is right now, and Sin just barraying shots into the back line here, and making something happen. They could have this point, but then again, I'm wrong, as M3 does get the shots onto Seb here. Looks like Defuel's having fun with Minimac, and, you know, decides to jump off the map for old time's sake. Alright. Not very exciting, I know. I'm trying to find more into the action. There we go. It's a lot better. And they decided to go ahead and have M3 drop the Hanzo and go Soldier just for Sin. Ooh, and it looks like Weeaboo and M3 are going to team up and actually take down Sin. Looks like Bats is gonna try to wait on the res, but they've got 45 seconds on the clock. It looks like she will drop the Pharah and actually go McCree here. And they've got, like I said, they've got 4 ults online. They are gonna have 3 on the side of Scene Queen. They've got less than 30 seconds to make something happen. M3 just wearing down that barrier, making sure that Minimac can make a play if it comes down to it. Valkyrie's going to come out on the side of Bats. M3's going to try to reposition it, try to pick people. Nope, but never mind. He's going to go bottom mid onto main. And Minimac was trying to get cheeky from what it looks like with a backline shatter, but it looks like Sin and DJ caught on to the shenanigans and said no, sir. Defuel shattering, but getting nothing with that, actually. And overtime ticks down here. Sin is uncontested on the high ground, but Weeaboo may have some shots coming his way. And it looks like Weeaboo's turret is going to more or less decide this point as M3 activates Tac Visor, and that will be first round. Interesting. They had, what? I don't know. They had about 6 minutes, I think. 6 minutes to work with, and stuff happens. And I am going to need Revolver Ocelot. I know this is not what you want. You don't want to see a blue screen. I know. Yell at me later. But I need... Alright. My apologies. Good old second point forever hold. Yeah. It's what I don't like about second point in particular, just because there's only 3 ways in, and 9 times out of 10, everybody's going to use the main. And they're going to use that left side if you're coming in from attack. The only way you're going to use that third entry on the right side is if you pretty much run an exclusive kind of a high mobility dive comp, but I mean... Normally most people don't use it, but it looks like they're gonna go for a... I'm trying to think of the word for it here. They've got DJ on the main and Seb on the Symmetra. Kind of just zoning and area denial, as a matter of fact. Soft CC countering. Looks like Minimac trying to push him with the hamster here. He's gonna be able to get in and get out relatively quickly. Looks like Weeaboo sitting on the Genji here. Sam on his signature Lucio. Looks like they're gonna go ahead and have somebody sit on point and divert attention as E-Fuel is gonna harass Star. But it looks like Star's gonna be able to get out. Never mind, I lied. His Bolton does get Star. Looks like they're gonna have to make a reset. Oh, Sin using her projectile finesse to actually take out M3 in the air. It's kind of just a harder thing to do, generally speaking, with manners and stuff like that. So Nub already having his Diva Bomb here. Weeaboo and Sam are having their ults getting ready to come online, and it looks like Seb's gonna have his Photon Barrier. Beautiful ult. Beautiful denial there. Looks like he's just putting the turrets on the point somehow in some way to make it work. Looks like it's working relatively well, actually. The ult comes out and the blizzard comes out as well. Barrage is going to come out only getting 1, but D-Fuel's going to get the trade off. Looks like they're going to try to stagger SC, and Weeaboo's in the back line by himself. He's going to have to be careful here. They are fully aware of him in the back line, but as to where he will be, and it looks like the Dragon Blade's going to come out. Not getting much other than, wearing down that mech, but I mean, how much health she has and how much armor she has. Works, and it looks like Diesel's gonna get the Diva Bomb off as well, and starts on a res during the Valk. Trying to reset and reinitiate the fight here. I don't know why I'm looking down awkward camera angle. Cool. Bats getting 2, D-Fuel getting 1. It looks like the rally's gonna come out. Actually, rally has already been out. It's a little old on that. Yikes. It's gonna be $1.30 on the clock left. I think Scene Queen is gonna have to make some changes here. They've got to be able to get rid of Seb. They've got to be able to get rid of Walton. And there's not really much you can do on first point that can contest that. You would pretty much have to run a full dive. You'd have to probably triple tank dive, really. My honest opinion. You'd have one of the DPS drop for Winston, and you would initiate with the minefield, and you go ahead and just drop on a point here. I would keep Weeaboo on the Junkrat just because that's the only thing that can actually contest the barriers. But we're going to see if that happens here. 43 seconds on the clock. Diva Bomb's going to come out with no barrier to work with. Good May wall as well as the Photon barrier coming out. That's extinguishing 1 ult. That's going to be 3 down on the side of Lawful Disobedience. Looks like Sin is going to go ahead and drop the Orisa and go Winston to try to be able to contest that back. M3 having the Dragons. And it looks like Weeaboo getting 2 with the concussion mines. And that is going to be a very desperate finish for first point. Head down to second point with only 10 seconds left. Might go into overtime actually with only 2 people on cart. Actually, no, it will not. It will be just over 4 minutes remaining on the clock here. And it looks like they've actually reset the tempo to more their favor. It looks like, yeah, Minimac engaging in on point here. And terrible at commentary if I'm by myself, which is the problem. Tire coming out as well, actually getting slowed by the ice. Ooh, the bomb coming out. Not getting any, but Weeaboo being able to get the attention of Walton and killing him pretty quickly. DJ wasn't positioned on the point, so his ice didn't really matter in terms of stalling, but D-Fuel switching off the tank he was on earlier and going Zarya, having high energy already, not even just switching off. The Dragon's gonna come out as well. Coalescence come out, all the ults are coming out. It's an ultimate barrage here. And it looks like all they have to do is keep Lawful Disobedience off of point for mere seconds, and that's all they need to do. Technically, you could have somebody backline flank and backline cap actually, and, it would work. But looks like by the looks of things, Lawful's gonna be able to make a desperate hold and actually make it work. 2 minutes and 45 seconds on the clock here, and it is going to be probably. Actually, not probably. It's going to be an interesting fight because you have the sound barrier and you have the Junkrat tire coming online for Scene Queen, but as well you're not really going to have any ultimates besides the Earth Shatter to kind of just stop it. They're going to more than likely, if I'm thinking what SC's thinking, they're going to initiate their push with the sound barrier, and it looks like, well, I'm wrong. I'm definitely wrong. Tire's going to come out as well. Going after Sin, but Sin throws a beautiful fire strike onto the tire, denying that damage that could have happened here. Looks like Seb getting 2 here as well. Very, very good zoning ult by DJ there with the pulse bomb here. Yeah, and I can't commentate if I don't have somebody to feed off of, and I think that's my problem. So I apologize about my bleh commentary. So let's see here. 4 ults. Oh, Weeaboo making the switch from Junkrat to Widow. They're running the double sniper's dive. Double off with no barrier is gonna be risky, just on the basis that Sin can pretty much, if they're playing the dive correctly to Sin's favor, they can pretty much, push all that they can. Another ult going off, killing the coalescing, can't even think of the words anymore. Oh my word. Just under 1 minute remaining here. DJ again having his pulse bomb, and Seb getting just actually at a quarter of the way of the for the latest photon barrier, but it looks like Weeb is trying to make picks early on here. 40 seconds on the clock left. And they're going to use the high mobility of the teleporter to their advantage and try to be able to push Weeb, but Weeb just gets out. DJ D-meching Nub Killer here as well. I can tell you right now, Lawful's feeling really confident in this game, but they've got to be careful. That confidence can ruin a game like this, can ruin a quick game. And it looks like the Hauntable is going to come out and try to just zone out Sin. It looks like M3 getting Sev early on, just on the pure suspicion that they might have it again. But Walton actually throwing his little flail and getting SC here. It looks like he's actually gonna be able to get the res off on SC, and it looks like the barrier's gonna come out as well. And it looks like just the supports for the most part were sitting on the point. No supports as of this moment for Scene Queen. Looks like they're gonna have to pull something out of the hat, but it looks like it's not really gonna happen here. Like I said, confidence can decide a game for good or bad, but it actually looks like it's gonna decide for the good side for Lawful Disobedience. I believe it will be a draw. Yeah. First map already is a draw. Definitely interesting. Again, I'm going to have to stop my commentary. Oh, Walton getting play of the game on the one-trick brig, Kappa. Very well known for his brig. Actually, beautiful flail. I didn't even see that. I think I'm just completely ignorant. Walton getting 2. It looks like putting all the damage he can into M3, and it's actually well done. Well done.
My genius is finally recognized.
I think I fronted the wrong revolver. I did. There we go. Okay. All right. There we go. How are you, Revolver? I'm sorry about that. I didn't invite you earlier. I actually friend requested the wrong Revolver. I didn't realize your letters were switched. Sorry about that.
Are you good?
Yeah. First map was a draw. Interesting. Yeah. Already. If I'm thinking the way it's gonna play out now, it's gonna be a little while before we get a win, and I don't know the second map, so it's gonna be interesting. You got any input on that map there, from what you were watching?
I thought it was going pretty well. Like, I saw the end of Lawful's push and then their whole entire defense.
Okay.
And I was amazed how close it got to being decided.
Yeah.
Essentially, it was probably less than a percentage point away from going to Scene Queen Arm.
Let's call it the Scene Queen Armory. It's Scene Queen Army, but the letters were too long. Could just squish Scene Queen together, just put Army.
But I know it came really close to them not having any percentage left.
Yeah, it was actually, yeah, I think it was less than 1%. Yeah, I have to send him an invite. Okay. Yeah, I'm like streaming and trying to do 7 different things at once, and it's not helping my case. Excuse me.
I was about to say, sorry if I take pauses. I'm getting over bronchitis. So.
No, that is a-okay. Do not worry. I'm commentating more or less on a sore throat, and I'm getting sick myself, so it's not really helping my case that I'm doing that. So
Yeah, that's why I originally didn't sign up for anything, because I could barely talk until yesterday.
yeah, there he is, God's Warrior 88. How are you, my man?
Hey, what's up, fellas?
What's up? What's up? You have
pretty good
you have
first
an
map, eh?
opinion on Hanamura? Did you see any of that happen?
Yeah, I saw about half of it, to be honest.
Okay.
From what I saw, though, it seemed pretty interesting. Very interesting team comps, especially with the double off tank.
Mhm. Okay. You got any takers for the W here in the All-Star game? Either one of you?
If I were to judge it based on number of people I like,
Mm.
or I know well,
That's a
I'd have
great.
to go with Lawful, like people I know really well.
Okay.
Not necessarily dislike, but
Okay.
essentially
I
the only person on Scene Queen Army I really know really well that I'm pulling for is Weeb. But I know Sin, Walton, Bats, Unknown, all of those, so it kind of...
Yeah, that's about a half of ascendance there on Lawful. Actually, no, that's
Yeah, I was
four.
gonna
That's
say.
four members. That's four members of Ascendance on Lawful right there. Walton, Poetic, Sin, and Bats, all on the same team.
Yeah, I personally
Which has
think
to help them out.
Scene Queen Army.
Oh yeah, definitely. Knowing that they have a lot of chemistry, Seb having interactions with Poet and Sin and Bats, intensifies the chemistry a little bit. Undead, or I think it's Unknown Beatbox as well. Also has a little bit of chemistry with each of these players. I know for a fact that
Attackers incoming in 30
I'm trying to think, Scene Queen, I want to actually kind of just, if I can, okay, it's not letting me do anything. Cool. There we go. It wouldn't fix itself. Sorry. I know that Nub and I believe, I know a lot of these players play together, but I don't really know if they've had a team to work with. M3 and
Weeb and
Weeaboo, yeah, Weeb and
Yeah,
M3
they
were on
were
BWR.
They were on my team.
Yeah, Black
But I
Box
know
Renegades.
they weren't usually being the DPS by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I know M3 is a very good Pharaoh. Weeaboo just pulling out all the stops on the flex deeps. He can play the hit scan. He can play the projectile. It works like that. It looks like Lawful initiating the dive early here.
No, Ryan's in deep. I wonder if they're gonna punish that.
Yep. Weeaboo getting a recon arrow onto Bats, and actually just a matter of seconds, 4 members of Lawful go down.
What I would say, Unknown is familiar with both DPS. And usually, on our team it was Unknown and Weeb, so it's interesting to see that Hanzo matchup.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they know if the Hanzo's behind them. Huh? Oh, I think one of them knows. The pair knows, it looks like. Yep, that's a bad stagger. Just unfortunate.
Not just that, he's also at a position with no res.
With no help.
Yeah, no help and no res. Walton actually getting Stara. Brig v Briggs. Who knew it'd be so exciting? Kappa.
Yeah.
Unknown.
Even though they got the Hanzo with a late stagger, the rest of the team was actually able to get him
beautiful
to find the
shot by
point.
Weeaboo picking off Bats there. Seb getting Weeaboo though, but Weeaboo getting the dragon kill onto Poetic.
Ooh.
And it looks like Unknown.
Both shatters.
It is the matchup of the Hanzos.
Hanzo v Hanzo. Question is who's the better one? Right now it looks like Unknown slightly better than Weeaboo just by a couple kills here and there.
Yeah, both shatters were used at last fight too, so I wonder if that'll come into play.
Yep, it looks like.
But Scene Queen does have a lot more ults in general.
Yeah, they do have a better ult economy right now. Do you think they have the advantage here?
Both teams have
If
both
they
support
combine
ults
the
along
right
with the
amount of
DPS ults. Yeah, both teams have both support ults as well as DPS ult. Both Inspires actually coming out here. looks like Poetic switching onto the Soldier. Looks like M3's gonna drop the Pharah and actually go Genji here. Both Coalescents come out. Battle of the final Kamehamehas here. As neither team really taking much damage considering the fact that both teams had their Coalescences out. Looks like Sin being able to get off Minimac here. Ooh, and it looks like...
Weren't both grabs just used?
Yes, they were. Seb used his just now, and Nub used it earlier.
Oh no, I thought Seb had one in the previous fight.
No.
I thought both
Nub.
grabs were used before. Okay.
It almost the composition is almost a mirror. It's basically a mirror comp. You have Walton,
just
and
a Genji
Star,
and the Soldier
Minimac and
difference.
Sin, Nub and Seb. You have Weeaboo and Unknown. Weeaboo actually getting Unknown off early here.
So that's the part. That's the part that excites me the most is this Hanzo matchup. Because I know each of them are really good. So this is what's the most interesting part for me. That and I am glad to see Sin on Rhine. I know she's a very good Reinhardt.
Looks like it's gonna be a full reset.
Yep. I think the one thing that Scene Queen has to be careful of is, you know, how out of position they are and whether or not they will be able to resist the offense that's going to come out of Lawful. But on the same side of the coin, that Lawful has to be careful of the DPS because of what they can do. Poetic having his tactical visor and Unknown just kicking pot shots at everybody, dealing enough damage to try to be able to get somebody low. Graviton comes out from Nub here.
Only
and
grabs
it looks like
one
the
person.
Dragon barely comes off, but is getting pinned by Sin as Sin is out of position here.
That was rather unfortunate. You'd love to have more than one person in the grab, and they didn't even secure the kill.
Yep. It looks like with all the armor that Star had, wasn't able to go down from that charge by Sin, but it looks like Sin's gonna have her Graviton, or not Graviton, I'm looking at Seb saying that, having the Earth Shatter.
Now Lawful needs to push in. They have the ult economy and their upper pick.
It looks like that's actually what they're gonna go ahead and do. They're gonna use the Inspire from Walton to try to establish their presence on point. Ooh, good
nice
one.
shatter.
Good
nice
one
counter
for the shatter,
shatter.
but beautiful counter shatter. Actually getting 3 with multiple ultimates coming out. Then is the Tactical Visor, the Dragon Blade, and I believe... No, that's just about it. Yeah. Both shatters coming out, both DPS ults coming out.
And the rally was used as well, I believe, from
The
both
rally
teams.
was used as well. A beautiful hold by Scene Queen. And it's going to actually be 2.5 minutes on the clock here.
And now both teams pretty much have grab dragons.
Yeah, both teams really nearing on that. That could be a
Unknown
the swing
trying
factor
to
in
go
this one.
around for a flank.
Beautiful Graviton actually getting to displacing both tanks. Now they're not really going to have a barrier to work with. And they're actually going to drop, one of the DPS for a tank. Going triple tank. Very interesting. Just considering the fact that you can have...
I don't know if they got enough heals for it.
Well, that's all dependent upon how you see it. They can play around the health packs. I mean, with what minimal health packs they have. Shatter coming out from Minimac.
Ooh,
Actually
fat
getting 3 in
shatter.
the Shatter. And we have getting 2 with the, I can't think of the thing that's called. Concussion
And a little
Mine.
tactical crouching.
little tactical crouching. Tactical BM, ladies and gentlemen. Pulling out all the stops.
So that explains why he just unleashed the dragons the last fight without the grab Weeaboo, because he switches off to the Junkrat. It's actually a really good switch considering
really
the
good
3
Junkrat.
tanks.
Oh, now they don't have 3 tanks.
Now they switch off of that to the Pharah. It can work, but it's very hard to make the Pharah work in an enclosed space like this third point.
That's actually that's actually the biggest detriment to Pharah's in this enclosed space. Unknown picking off Mini. Actually, Unknown getting 2, as a matter of fact. He's constantly laying shots from backline. SC going down. Make that 3 for Unknown here. It looks like... Yep, it looks like
M3's doing all he can to try to make something work, but it looks like it's just not gonna work because he's got a Wraithform out of there with low health. Looks like blue team doing all they can to contest. Unknown, pretty much uncontested in the back, just laying shots at everything. Fire comes out.
Ooh,
Like
that's unfortunate.
Yep.
Yeah, Tire comes out and it doesn't channel out right, so
Yeah.
it didn't even get to use it.
Tire comes out a little too early, actually. The tire comes out a little too late while Walton throws the little flail. Actually just picks him off clean. Oh, goodness. I've got to go get some water because I'm extremely thirsty. I know. Just under 30 seconds remaining, capping to third point. And we're going to have to see what blue team can do to more or less retaliate against red team here. I've decided to give up on calling him Lawful Unseen Queen. It doesn't
Works for me.
It doesn't flow off the tongue. It's easy. Oh goodness. Grand Tolu.
SQA and lawful.
No. That's Squaw. 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 I'm terrible. I need to stop what I'm doing. Hold on.
Please do.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
The Soldier Doomfist combo. You don't see that one too often. Normally you see like a Sombra Doomfist, or even a McCree Doomfist.
3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
I'm a terrible human being. Sorry about that. I'm back.
Oh good, my dude.
I'm ready. Cool beans.
Ooh, 3 early picks. Nice charge.
Unknown's gonna go ahead and... Yep. He's gonna get right behind everybody.
And just like that.
Like much quicker.
Say off to a quick start.
Yep.
Objective A.
I wondered how the Soldier Doomfist combo would work as DPS, and that was just an unfortunate fight, I think. Oh, the Ryan, ouch. That's a hard stagger. That was just a good pin.
And it separated them far enough from bat so they can get the res off.
Yep. They're fully committed to this one, yep. Don't know that you needed Blade there, but I mean, it's just an insurance. And all the while, no one's pushing the payload. It feels bad.
Oh.
They got the team fight win at least, so they at least have that.
Looks like
They
they're
have a lot of free
switching things
space.
up with Sin going to McCree and Seb going to the Rhine.
Poetic switches off the Soldier and goes Zarya. Shatter comes out too, really trying to keep them in their spawn.
I'm taking care. Right beside you.
I apologize. My incessant chewing is annoying.
Well, Barrage gets one, but you gotta think that they're probably gonna switch.
No, it actually works just because they took a healer down. When you barrage like that, you wanna put in as much damage as you can with, also.
Well, yeah, no, I just assumed that the way that they used the Barrage like that they might have switched off, but they got the res off, so.
M3 is the kind of player to just constantly stay on what he's good at, and if he feels he's doing good, he's not going to make a change.
We still need you.
Rezon and the McCree actually helps because they take down the Pharah. And despite investing Blade, they actually beat. Or no, they just switch off. So now they've got the Hanzo and the Lucio instead of the Zenyatta.
Healing stream engaged.
Fire at will.
Nice counter shatter.
Three in the shatter, but none to follow up.
Let's get you back out there.
I will not waste this chance.
Here's the thing. What I'm noticing from Scene Queen is the fact that they are more or less trying to, they're trying to just throw ults in.
Heroes never die.
You know, at this level of play, in, you know, a competitive-esque setting, you can't really
It's
throw
not
ults
going to work
in
as
like that.
much. Yeah. Better teams are going to be able to counter that. Like, the Ryan shatter wasn't a terrible shatter, because it was a counter shatter to kind of keep the aggression away, because it did manage to get a couple people, but at the end of the day, it still kind of was a throwaway shatter.
Yeah, it was a throwaway shatter just because there was nothing to follow up.
Yeah.
You're absolutely correct. There was 3 in the shatter, which was perfect because it, you know, you drop the aggression of the other team down by trying to prioritize, oh, are they alive? But I mean, on the same side of the coin, there's not really much in terms that you can do with that, you know, other than you know, pray to God that somebody follows it up. We were actually getting a one out early, try to just deny the transcendence. Minimac getting one as well with the charge, and the counter charge.
Shatter comes out. Counter shatter gets one. Unfortunately falls.
Transcendence coming out.
Zenyatta
Good transcendence
coming
usage.
out. Ooh, that's unfortunate.
Ooh, M3 with
That's
3 with the
big.
dragon.
They waited for the transcendence time to go
Yep.
out, and then that was just a perfect combo right there.
Perfect punishment. Perfect punishment by M3.
Yeah.
He knew that the Transcendence was going to come out, so he read that like a book, and as soon as the Transcendence was coming down, Graviton came out as well as the Dragons. Beautiful sync.
And Scene Queen has actually some flexibility because they can either do the combo Dragon Shatter or the Dragon Grab, or they can do, you know, Genji Blade Shatter. Or, Jesus, not Shatter, Genji Blade and Grab, so they have some flexibility with what they want to do. Or they could just let Weeaboo just do whatever he wants and just get 2 with his blade, just like that.
Thanks.
And they're just gonna keep pushing this.
Heroes never die.
Bout comes out. Ooh, a lot of ults coming out this fight.
Weeaboo, yep. Weeaboo just diverting all the attention. M3 punishing that accordingly as he gets 2 with that as well. Bats
But she
rezzing
gets the
Seb,
res
but
off,
Sark
but she
getting fed,
dies.
so, yep. Both healers down on the side of Lawful. I can tell you right now, they've gotta dedicate this entire push. They've got less than 30 seconds, coming down to just less than 15. They've gotta.
Thought that was a wasted grab, but that was actually huge. And now the sim to just keep them
Grab
off the
that
point
one
as well.
around.
Yep.
Like Sam trying to do everything he can with that tracer, trying to stall as long as he can. Even going to the hamster with Minimac.
It works, but not what people aren't realizing is that Symmetra is on the board, and she has placed her turrets all around everywhere. And just like that, she's already got her ult.
Yep. Weeaboo. Unfortunate. Cannot stall out any longer.
And it's gonna be lawful disobedience. Winning map 2
With tactical crouching.
with a bit of with enhanced tactical crouching. Yes. You know what I have to do after this? Oh my gosh, I didn't even see this either. I'm just brain. Oh no, I did. I did. Sorry, I didn't see it from his side. Yikes. Beautiful shatter. Oh, I wish I could do that, but I can't. So. All right, it is gonna be 101 lawful. Map 2 heading on to map 3. Looks like they're heading on to the King of the Hill, Li Jiang Tower. Okay. This game will decide whether Scene Queen wins the All-Star, or actually whether Scene Queen loses the All-Star game, or they stay in the fight for one more. As lawful right now is at this moment is up by one map, considering the fact that both teams drew on Hanamura. That's just what you expect with high-level teams like this. You know, all the best players from this league, you know, duking it out on one map with all the chemistry that they have. They're bound to draw a map. Let's be honest. And if it's any map that they're gonna draw, it's it's gonna be more than likely was gonna be Hanamura, just because it's the easiest map to draw on. So.
Yeah. It's good to see that none of these maps seem to be fully, blowouts one way or the other.
Yeah, both teams putting up fights back and forth, doing all that they can to try to become the one team who's better than the other, just for bragging rights. Just to flex on everybody else. So. But.
Now arriving at Lijiang Tower. Initiating match.
Okay. Couple of.
I feel like this map in particular is the map that you could literally pull out wild cards. So you can run like May, Doomfist, Reaper, like any kind of weird combo. You can even run, obviously they could go goats, but I don't think that'll happen.
Well, I think they're. I don't think both teams are gonna run goats. Yeah, it's gonna be if this will be game point for lawful if they win.
Because this is one of my favorite maps, so I'm kind of happy that this is kind of like one of those the important rounds.
Ready for battle.
And I think that going back to the original point that you made, Gods, both teams aren't going to run goats because both of these teams have profound respect for each other, and they trust that the other team's not going to run goats.
Well, that and I think with this type of setup, you almost can't, because I don't think you can coordinate enough with a hodgepodge of
Yeah, players from multiple teams and
the
such.
coordination.
Yep.
Yeah.
Round one. Capture the objective.
So I just think run and go would be a detriment because you wouldn't be able to coordinate your team well enough to make it effective.
Absolutely. Looks like
Well,
Unknown
we've got
already
some
getting up on the
sleeper
top
picks.
here. Yep.
With the May and the Reaper coming out on both sides, respectively.
Unknown getting set up already, coming in off the dive.
Ooh,
Poetic getting
the huge
M3
freeze on
off
that
the
Reaper.
initial pick. Yep. Unknown getting Saiyan as well. Poetic getting 2 as a matter of fact. Unknown getting 2 as well. Make that 3 for Unknown. Make that 4 for Unknown with a beautiful 4K to then cap the point. Unknown already 2/3 of the way to his ultimate.
They're already about to have Coalescence too.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're about to have both supportals.
Beautiful. Beautiful presentation on the Doomfist by Unknown here. And I think what this team has to do is they have to be careful because they know that Unknown is from what they have just witnessed, is a more or less dominating presence. And you can see that, you can see that Unknown's getting into the back line here. As both
Huge
Gravitons
grab
actually
comes out.
come out from both teams.
Yeah, but I think the second grab kind of was a waste there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Minimac unfortunately just kind of throwing that one away. Maybe thought that he had the follow-up and that people weren't just gonna immediately die, but everyone just fell.
I think the thing was for that was that both teams were stuck in the grab. You know, Lawful being stuck in the grab first and assuming that I'm just gonna grab right after this. The problem is that Poetic grabbed and got 3 people. Nice is gonna come out. The Winter Wonder-
The deflected
the
blizzard.
Winter Wonderland gets deflected to make it his own. Weeaboo getting 1 with Poetic and making it a beautiful presentation.
We do with 2 alts back to back.
It's not entirely... Okay, now it is. I was gonna say, if the Reinhardt didn't fall, Lawful still had a shot of stalling that one out. It's still not a bad first team fight though.
Oh, absolutely not. No.
87%.
And just being able, after multiple team fights, being able to hold off. Not a very good wall, but just because of the angle that she had, there wasn't really much she could do with the wall. Either way,
Yeah.
you know, if Sin plays her cards right, she can pretty much time that Death Blossom correctly. And pretty much deny. Yep.
Death Blossom gets 1.
M3 making enough of his ult to make it matter as he does get 1 of the primary healers, and Saiyan getting 2 actually, getting the secondary healer as well.
Yep. And they get the res off of M3 too.
The problem is that... Yep. Oh, beautiful read as Seb blocks the shatter. And it's actually that Graviton's
They
gonna
use
get
Grav
3
too.
in there as well. Weeaboo getting 3
And a
with
3K.
1 slice. Measure once, cut twice. 3 with 1 slice. Beautiful. He still dies, but hey, you know it's all about the flash he plays. We're
But
not
now
here
the blizzard
for,
comes out.
We're not here for below average plays. No, we're here to make super duper flashy plays. Oh, Unknown going for the seismic slam, falling off the edge, trying to follow up on a Minimac. Unfortunate.
Yeah.
But he
Ooh,
will
good
have
shatter.
his. He will have his meteor strike. Good counter charge by Seb here. Looks like Sand just getting frozen up here. Just in time for the holidays.
Weeaboo and Stara just stalling out as long as they possibly can.
Making the most out of it actually. And they're gonna
Next
Weeaboo's
team
actually
fight
gonna
is
go ahead and make
crucial.
it push it into overtime. Ooh,
Ooh.
beautiful grab, getting 2 at least. But unfortunately no follow-up though.
Yeah, I was gonna say the grab could have been used for this next fight because now this is the last fight, but they have to stagger onto the point now
Yep.
because of all these deaths.
And the thing is that also, I don't know if you noticed it, but Stara went to go make a res happen, and unfortunately
Got it
That's
canceled, yeah.
got it.
That's canceled it. Winter Wonderland's
Weeaboo.
coming out. Weeaboo only 5 health, getting meleeed by Poetic. Shatter getting
Oh.
red! Getting red
The
like
wall.
a Dr. Seuss book. A beautiful wall pushing up in the air and denying that. Beautiful.
That was clutch. And now the spin to win. Beyblade, boys.
Spin to win with the solo grab saying no sirree doo-dah. We're gonna finish this point out here.
Ooh, Reaper ult, but unfortunately
getting
doesn't
nothing
get
with that,
anything with
actually.
it.
Mm-hmm. Map 1 will go to Poetic and Lawful here.
Score 0.
I think probably the best play, despite it not working as well, was the deflect. Because if
Blizzard.
Yeah, the deflect blizzard, yes.
Because if I'm gonna put it like this, if Weeaboo did not deflect that ice, that blizzard,
There was a good solid 3 or 4 of them.
there was about over half the team gonna sit in that blizzard, and everybody would have died. That is, it's not.
We popped 2 ults essentially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
True.
And the thing is that not a lot of people will recognize it, but you can make the saves like that. They won't be noticed. Like, not a lot of people will notice the little stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
Sombra Farah
That's
coming out this round.
Barely avoiding getting
And-
charged.
Mm-hmm. And Saiyan just getting battered and beaten on this point. Hitting as much heals as he can, but it looks like it's not going to be enough. Walton's going to throw his signature Mason and just take down Saiyan. But Minimac and the rest of
Coming
blue
in on that
teams-
Hammond.
Yep. Minimac getting 2 with the ring around the rosy grapple. And it looks like Minimac actually already has his minefield. And we're not even...
And he's using
1
it.
minute.
And he's using it just as on the mount.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty smart use.
And he's not using it for more of a damage. He's using it as a zoning to make sure that they won't push in. And do you see that also? How low Seb's barrier got?
Oh! Say
Yep.
Goku uses the shatter.
He
Beautiful.
lost it, yeah.
And the thing is that, yep, and he's going to go ahead and punish the
Ryan
shatter.
finally dropping. Barrage manages to get 1, and they get the res off of the Ryan.
And actually, more or less, it's what matters, because it was on a healer. It was on Wolf.
Yeah, so the Barrage gets the healer, Stara gets the res off of the Rhine, and then the Shatter comes in and basically gets nothing for Lawful.
Yep.
And they even used Valk, I believe, that fight.
Yes, they did, actually, as a matter of fact.
EMP
Ooh!
Shatter, that's a fat combo.
Beautiful combo. Minimac again having his minefield. He's gonna actually go ahead and use that. He might be using it in a moment. You see where
He
he's
might just do the
positioned?
same thing again.
You see where he's positioned?
Yep, he's gonna come in from behind them, it looks like. He's gonna catch them as they're spawning. Yep, I knew it. Great use by that ult too. I don't think anyone from Awful can touch at this point.
Nope.
Oh, Tracer just gets there. Fortunately, it's just her.
Yep, I'm getting hacked on top of which it's death sentence to stay on point.
Beautiful round
Mm-hmm.
from Scene Queen Army.
That's actually a full shutout as well. That's a shutout for that map.
That was probably the first out of all the maps that we played that was that dominant, one side.
Mm-hmm. They're wanting to stay in this game. They are wanting to stay in this game. And you
Can
can
they do it
admire.
back-to-back rounds
You
is
can
the
admire
question.
that. You can admire that. You know, just how much they're willing to put on the line for this game. You know, and Scene Queen having a dominating presence on that second point. But the question is who's going to win this third point? Is Scene Queen going to stay alive, or is Lawful going to take the All-Star game?
The double off tank though, with Lawful, they're running the double off tank, which means that Ryan, once he gets his shatters, they're gonna be free, unless
The thing
somehow
is
they're
that
able to
Saiyan's
block
going
them.
to realize that far before the enemy team's going to realize it.
I am interested to see.
And what they're
Senna
actually,
and Sinatra.
what they actually just did now is they used the high mobility of that TP to their advantage. Because instead of being able to walk around with SC being quite the prevalent boot master, quote unquote, he would have been able to say, hey, you know, they're right over there on the bridge, and they go capitalize.
Yeah.
Ooh, it
Sim
looks
is
like
actually a really
Saiyan,
good pick on this point too.
Saiyan getting
He gets
two actually with
two.
the picks. One with the charge. You know, and that's a little more passive information they have there.
I think the double ham is giving me confusing the hell out of me.
It's going to be very confusing because they were
it's
both
gonna be
just
an
spinning.
interesting who's the better hamster. It's like Minimap getting on right now. Well, and both of them are joining the ring around the Rosie.
Yep. And they both hamsters have their ults. Minimac uses his though,
Same,
unfortunately to
but
no
Lawful
avail.
was just building percentage that entire time.
Yep, and they've actually
Already
almost, they have
40.
basically got 6 ultimates. Oh, and SC getting
Oh, that's
booped
an
off by
unfortunate late
Wall.
stagger.
Yep. And the thing is that Lawful is gonna have 6 ultimates. They're gonna have the dragon. They're gonna have the
Yep.
grab. They're gonna have the
It all
photon
depends
barrier.
on how well Weed uses EMP here.
You figure they might go for the EMP barrage combo.
Unlikely. I don't see it.
But I can't now.
True. Everything coming out for both teams
Everything's
almost.
coming out. They've got about 30 seconds left. Oop. EMP
A decent
was
EMP.
a little late on the draw, but I mean, if you can make it work, make it work.
Oh, the
Shatter comes
the
out,
boop.
gets blocked.
The boop onto the Reinhardt
won't-
just after he uses Shatter.
That and the Zarya bubble kind of helped out as well.
And if that wouldn't have happened, also the photon barrier, just the way it was positioned as well. They've got about 5 seconds to be able to touch this point if they're gonna want to stay alive.
Weeaboo's gonna have to touch.
Yep,
Yep.
Weeaboo's gonna go ahead and decloak. Open Minimac not set up correctly. So he's just gonna play the beat 'em up game.
Minefield coming out. Mercy gets the res off the Rhine. Ooh, good grab. He gets the Mercy in there.
Yikes.
Now they just gotta get rid of SC and just like, oh no, Hamster
Minimac's
coming in
still
to save
being
him.
able to contest here as well.
Now the Sombra. And just like that.
Lawful will take map 2 for the All-Star game. Map
They'll
3.
take the whole thing,
Map
won't they?
3, as well as winning the All-Star game. Minimac, you know, still coming up big on his signature hamster. You know, he just establishes his presence. And he says, "Hey, we don't have this here. No, sir. Goodbye. Have a good day." Already having his ultimate. That right there. A beautiful presentation from both teams, but Lawful Disobedience will come out in the end as victor of the All-Star game. Question is, will they play the second, or will they play the final map for giggles? We don't know. It is entirely up to... I don't even know where my phone is. Somewhere. Somewhere. There it is. Question is, I think they're going to play the 4th map. Alrighty. I think they're wanting to play the final map. If not, we might as well. Interesting. MVPs? Might as well start that now. You got any contenders for MVP of the All-Star game?
That's honestly a tough one.
Okay.
I'd have to say
I'd say
probably.
I've got 3 that I've got in my head, but
Okay.
Yeah, I've got a couple myself.
Okay.
like for Lawful, I'd have to say Unknown and probably Senpai.
Unknown.
And Scene
Okay.
Queen, I'd have to go for Weeb. It's a
Okay.
big part of that, along with maybe Mini Mac.
Yeah, I was gonna say Senpai for me, and then Weeb and Minimac were my 3.
Okay. So if we could narrow it down to one player for between both teams, who would you think had the best performance?
Who had the best performance?
Between both teams, which player that has played has had the best performance? Let me phrase it in a way that doesn't sound like they did everything. What I mean by best performance is that they made the little things into big things. They made the plays that they needed to play. It may not have been noticed intently, but like.
I'd have to say Weeb then in that point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, looks like they are going to go ahead and play the final map. And I guess we'll keep that in mind for now as we go into the final map.
I would say,
Yeah, as we go into the final map, considering the fact that they drew first map and Lawful won 2, taking... Actually, no, because if they drew first map,
and then Lawful took the next 2.
yeah. But the thing is that you normally play 4 maps. No, so they didn't draw. Okay, cool. I'm stupid. I'm dumb. They have to play this map. So, wait. No, I don't remember. Ugh, I'm so dumb. Erg. I'm thinking that Scene Queen won a map. And I'm thinking that...
They did.
Since
I think.
Did they?
Legion
Yes, they
and
did.
Lawful won, and Lawful won. Wasn't it?
Oh no, so they didn't win. It was because there was a draw.
It was a draw. Okay. So, yeah, they would technically take the series. Okay, I'm a backer. I'm a backer.
Unknown with a kill on Weeb.
Don't know why M3 went back more into that doorway.
You know what? I may actually change my vote for MVP.
Okay.
Actually, upon thinking about it.
Well, I guess we'll hold on to that. Hold on to that thought
Yeah.
as we go in, as we're currently here. Something might happen in this map that decides who the MVP is.
We may see that play of the season.
Interesting. With Scene Queen running the triple tank with Minimac on the Hammond.
It works, relatively speaking.
And then-
It's more, it's a dive.
Yeah. And they have a decent healing comp for it because of the Lucio and the Moira.
Yeah, they're playing around the dive pretty much. And Seb with that
Meanwhile,
military
Lawful-
grade. Seb with that military grade laser.
Awful just has an interesting comp. They're going bunker, and then they've got the Hanzo and Sim. Sim for pretty much just turrets on the point and just everywhere else.
Just maneuverability.
Yeah, that too.
Beautiful block.
Getting
And
three.
Getting 3 with the blade. Keeping his team alive.
Oh, and now the Bastion coming out for Scene Queen.
And because they're definitely gonna have to be careful with that basket.
Yeah. He's also got to be aware that they could easily teleport behind him, just try, hard flanking, just to try to take him out. So he has to be mindful of that as well.
Weeaboo again with
Weeaboo
another blade,
again.
getting 4 with that blade.
Dude.
He
Weeaboo's
is
going off,
putting
man.
on a display for the ages, and I am not keeping track of him, and I feel bad knowing I'm not keeping
It's
track.
at this point that I am very glad he's on my team for next season.
I think he heard us talking about MVPs somehow and was like,
yeah, and he was like, "Man, I have to solidify my presence." And it looks like Seb using the teleporter to get everybody up on the top of the ship. Now we're gonna go ahead and fight on the bridge, actually.
"Oh, Diva Bomb going up on inside the ship, gets
I didn't
one."
think that was gonna get it, Sin, but it was close.
It's very close.
You know how it is with angles.
Three ult stow coming out on the side of Scene Queen Army, which means that Lawful has the ult economy here.
They only
Let's
have
see a
barrage to
teleporter
work
get put
with.
up here in a second. Get behind that bastion.
I wouldn't doubt them doing that. Nub's got to be careful.
Yeah, Nub's actually just pressing all the
Backs
damage
out.
he can.
Rally coming out, and yep, they're rotating up top. Rotating to take care of the bastion. Ooh, unfortunate pin.
Yep, Sim trying to grab Nub. Nub barely getting out of position, or barely getting back out of position as Emperor just gets caught.
Me
Now
and I
Weep's
trying to
gonna
be
have
cheeky.
Dragon Blade here in a second.
And I'm obligated to watch. Oh, no need
Ooh,
for
and
that
they waste
barrier.
barrier.
No, unlucky.
Unfortunate.
Unlucky by SC. Using that barrier at the last possible moment, getting it taken away from him. Unlucky.
Now here's where the part where the bastion is kind of a hindrance. You gotta be able to reposition him.
And that's two really big staggers there too.
And not just that though, it's just relatively speaking. Excuse me. With the longer sight lines, you know, they're realizing that they've got to take care of him. Weeaboo only getting one, but you know, one pick can matter in a fight, can decide the engagement of a team fight. M3 getting one with the coalescence as well.
Oh,
Sin
that
getting
pin.
popped up and dropping Weeaboo and getting one with the shatter. But it looks like SC just harassing Sin as well as M3, but M3 is going to be able to get the kill.
Yeah. You'd like to see them maybe save the shatter so that it's not in their spawn. You know,
Absolutely.
not having to use that in their spawn, but That's just unfortunate.
And they're gonna go ahead and run a more defensive-esque comp. They're gonna run something a little bit more defensive. Ooh, double
that's
off
why
take with Roadhog.
She runs the hog. That's why she used it. Okay, that makes more sense now. Moira trying to catch out the Pharaoh with the Coalescence. Almost kills him.
Beautiful bomb placement as he's saying
gets
will
one.
get unknown. He'll be getting the other one again, having his blade.
Yep, Weeaboo's got blade. Let's see if he pops it here. Or he just saves it for the next fight.
Yeah, he won't. It would be a smarter idea if he held it. He's gonna hold it for this last fight. It's gonna be 20 seconds on the clock left.
20 seconds. They might have to stagger out onto this. I don't know that they can, even though they're all together, I don't know that they can get a full reset because someone will have to touch very shortly.
Not with how hard Team Queen's pressing the door. Not gonna happen.
Alright, well Ryan gets there just in time.
And they're actually keeping him hidden. And it looks like Saiyan also ate the dragon as well.
Yep,
amidst the
dragons
grab.
were eaten.
Beautiful.
Unfortunately, still 2 fall though. But Weeaboo...
No, because it works. It works because, you know, it makes it either way the ult was useless. Right?
Yes.
So, why not just add insult to injury?
Good ult by SC.
Yeah, but SC
Everything in the kitchen sink, but the shatter gets rid of all of the mines from Minimac. Lucio drops, Dragon's on the point for the zone, and that might be it. Solid defense, but a pretty good attack for Lawful. They'd like to have some time bank though, but they got the job done. They got all 3 points.
Oh goodness.
Ready for battle.
Senpai on the Torb.
Senpai's getting her mallet.
Big Papa Torb here. Love to see it. SC actually coming out on the Ana this time instead of his signature Lucio.
1. Attackers incoming.
You gotta figure that's probably to combo with Weeaboo to get the Nano Blade.
Definitely. Ooh, Weeaboo. Getting an early pick here. Both
Ooh,
healers
the
down as
counter.
well. Both healers down.
Dude, this is a really good start.
Couldn't agree more.
Yep. And the unfortunate stagger for the Torbjorn. You hate to see it.
This will heal you.
Senna's gave up her mallet and is going to May.
Going to the May.
Winter Wonderland, just for the holidays, ladies and gentlemen. Good counter charge.
Oh, that was a nice shot on Weave from Unknown.
And just like that. Seeing Queen Army has to fall back for a reset.
Ooh, nice wall.
Good wall though. Potential stagger.
Beautiful
Yep.
wall.
Gets a C.
It was huge.
Enemy contact. Surrender to my will.
Fortunately,
Ooh, good shatter.
gets nothing but the shatter. Gets rid of the Reinhardt. But they used 2 ults that last fight, and then seeing Queen Army is coming up on all 6 ultimates, so you figure they have the advantage in this team fight just with that ultimate advantage.
Well, that's just... I would disagree with that, just because higher skilled teams, you know, you can have a higher ult economy, but if you just throw your
It's all
ults out,
ult management. It's all
Yeah.
real usage, what
All
value
about
you
how you
can
use
get
the
out of it.
ults,
But you think they have the advantage.
Ooh, good
Nice
wall,
wall.
actually. Beautiful wall.
Saves 2, but unfortunately the rest of the team fight does not go in their favor.
Yep, now they're, yep, all of, yep, they basically just threw ultimates out to try to just be able to shut
Blizzard comes out even.
All of
And
the
now
ults
just
were
like
used.
that, and just like that now, the roles are reversed. Lawful now has the ults management, or has the better ult economy now.
Ooh, good 3
And
shatter
looking
with that.
really
Beautiful.
aggro.
But Bats actually is able to escape and pull out the coalescence as well.
Senpai dropping the main, coming for the sim.
And that's actually just a stronger pick in general between the Mei. Just because there's not really... You can area deny with Mei, but you can do it probably better with Symmetra. Just because of where you can
The
place
turrets
the
alone,
at.
the turrets alone can make people, you know, give up space.
Ooh, insane catching Senpai in the back line. Unknown getting 2 with the dragons as
Dragon
well.
strike.
Kind of just flipping this aggro here. And it looks like, yep, it looks like Scene Queen's gonna have a lot of their ultimates come online. So the one thing that they're gonna have to be careful about is wasting their ults.
Oh, good shatter gets
Good shatter
2.
getting 2. Weeaboo is gonna
And you
instead
get rid
punish
of
Seb,
one of
though.
the supports. Huge. Simwall comes out, Coalescence comes out, Rally even comes out. So
Yep.
now they're down, they used 4 ults that fight.
Get in there.
They use 4 ults and come out on top. Huge grab.
Both teams setting up the grabs if they need, but the problem is Nub threw his out
Way late.
right after his team got grabbed. Buck 35 on the clock here left, and I like the punish because what they did was that they grabbed, right, and then Nub grabbed, but the problem is that Minimac couldn't follow it up because he himself was inside the grab. Very strong punish.
Yeah.
Here's what Goku's doing. Goku's gonna try and bait out the. Yep. Now they're shoving ultimates out.
Yep. A lot of ults were used, but
It works.
very
It works
convincing
for
team
what
fight.
you need to do, but you know it's not.
Yeah.
It's not universally.
You'd like to have
smiled.
Coalescence back though. You probably only needed the Nano and the Blade, to be honest.
Coalescence. The Coalescence wasn't necessary. Minimac actually threw his ult out because he was gonna make the switch to McCree. You got about 45 seconds on the clock left, and Lawful's gonna have that stronger ult economy here. Shatter's
Ooh, but
gonna
a
come out,
fat
get
shatter.
3 as well. And SCB able to keep Saiyan
Unfortunately.
alive on point here with very low health, but makes it happen somehow.
That's unfortunate. You get a fat shatter, but unfortunately SC keeps them all alive.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful use of that bio grenade.
And huge potential staggers coming out right here too.
Oh, and Weeaboo getting unknown in the backline very early. Kind of resetting the tempo for Scene Queen as you keep them
And
on their
they're going
back pedal. The
super
Shatter
aggro.
comes out, getting 3 actually, but only being able to get 1 off the impact, and Weeaboo cleaning up as well as Nub cleaning up.
Yeah, they went it all. They went all in on that fight. They're trying to keep them in spawn.
But
So
that's
that
what
they
you
can
need
get
to
as
do though.
much
When you
payload
have
push.
when you have that tempo, you need to abuse it. You need to abuse the tempo that you have and push. Regardless
Yeah,
of
they
saying,
want as
oh, you're
much payload
overextended.
push as possible.
Yeah, regardless of whether you're overextended or not, just as long as you have a couple teammates with you, you can punish. Graviton comes out. Weeaboo getting 1. Looks like Weeaboo just picking apart the backline, getting 2. Minimac cleaning up his 3rd. And with just under a minute remaining, all I can tell you is that Lawful is gonna have to pull out all the stops.
Yeah, Scene Queen looking to potentially.
Ooh,
Catch
Minimac getting 2
and
with the
finish.
high noon. Beautiful zoning ult. Sev doesn't keep his barrier up in front of what he needs to protect, and that was one of his healers.
They could potentially finish with time bank too. Good shatter coming out, decent follow up too. They just got to get rid of this Junkrat and the Lucio.
And right now, you can see that Lawful's getting a little desperate on point here. You can see just how much. You can see the desperation and how much they're trying to push. But because they're coming in staggered, it's a big problem. You can't really.
It's a
form
problem,
up.
but it's working because
Yeah.
they're dragging out the clock.
Absolutely. And that's actually probably
Both
one of the better
teams.
things about going in staggered is the fact that if you're contesting point and push it into overtime, which is actually what they're going to go ahead and do. Because if you push
Both
it into
teams
overtime,
get in overtime though.
Beautiful.
1 minute each side. We'll see who makes the most of it.
Switching sides. Initiating match. Ready for battle. Attackers incoming.
I'm definitely making ramen when we're done. I need
Making
some
me
ramen.
hungry.
I think it's just the inner weeaboo talking in me.
Now I'm just hungry.
Sorry.
Feels bad.
You'll be alright. Revolver, am I making you hungry?
Nah, I just had some salmon a minute ago.
Heck.
Ooh, nice.
But salmon's good though. You know what I need? I need sushi. I need a whole hog combo here.
Yep,
Ooh,
Hog
beautiful
gets
hook
the
coming into the
pick.
back line, punishing bats.
See
Beautiful.
if he can make it out alive.
That's actually going to be a very strong stagger. It looks like Unknown's
Yeah.
going to be able to pull out the same, but because offense has a spawn advantage, that is going to be more of a problem for Scene Team than anything else. Less than 30 seconds, and everybody knows that if you push this into overtime, as soon as you leave the cart, your Overwatch time or your overtime clock starts ticking down. Tire's gonna come out.
Tire
from Nub,
comes in
getting Q.
huge.
Beautiful. 10 seconds remaining. All I know is that Poet and Walton are gonna have to pull out all the stops. Weeaboo getting bats as well off the spawn as well. Beautiful. Coalescence is gonna come out from M3 here, and Unknown just beating people up.
Weeb coming out with the blade too. Brian gets a pretty good shatter. That's 3, but does he have the follow-up?
He
I
does
don't
not
think
have
so.
the follow-up. He doesn't have enough damage to be able to push through that. Weeaboo getting Sin, and Minimac getting bats. Savage just gonna get mulched by this whole hog here. Yep. And that is gonna
Had
be
a
the
pretty
overtime
decent
clock
hold.
ticking down here.
That's actually one of the hardest places, or probably maybe even the easiest places to hold on that first point is just underneath that bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Because you could literally spam into that little area, and you have to force the enemy to either go high and above you, like behind you, or you have to force them to go into the side room to the left or the control room.
Yep. That's actually one of the reasons why I like this map. It's, because of, it's because of being able to push, and try to just shove everything into a hallway. And Junkrat was actually a very good cause for that, was just because of how much power and how much damage he was pushing into that choke.
Yeah.
And I think that tire more or less sealed the deal because it took 2 out, which means you have 2 less in the fight, but you'll have 2 back coming in. But the problem is that you'll still have more bodies on defense than you will offense.
Yeah. And if anyone has ever even seen any of the Overwatch League, most of the games that used to be played on Watchpoint Gibraltar, most of those holds would end right around that area, right underneath the bridge. If it was a full hold or even in overtime. So if you want to be defending a certain area, then that's a good place to defend.
I hope this lodges due to the team barrier. Ooh, an unknown and a weeaboo getting picked.
Sim is actually a really good pick here because you can literally just line the walls. It's a good hook, but unfortunately not able to
No follow for the whole
confirm
time.
the
First
kill.
villain coming out as well. Yep.
Junkrat just spamming on high.
All Nub's got to do
Finally
is get
drops
that
that.
tire and throw it into the back line. That's literally all he needs.
Weeaboo trying to take out the back line too. Tire gets nothing though.
Tire misses.
Tire gets nothing, but what it does, it displaces displaces your team. Prevents them from making something happen.
Beat coming in, Coalescence, both Coalescences coming out.
Coalescence out. The Shatter coming out as well, only getting one
Actually
though.
gets Sex in.
But it looks like just how much damage they're shoving in. It looks like Loft is going to be able to take this map. Tire coming out,
Yeah, and the
getting
tire,
3 with the tire
huge
seals this
piece.
map. And there's going
Huge
to be
way to end the
Lawful
game.
with a 3-0 win, and the official winners of the All-Star game. Like we said before, we are going to discuss the man, the myth, the legend himself, I believe, the MVP of the All-Star game. And on top of which being less than 50 health. Being able to pull off a 4K blade. High risk, high reward, and that is what we are here to see in this league. And I think he should be MVP for the All-Star game. That's just me. I don't know about
Yeah,
you two.
after that performance, he definitely deserves MVP.
And you know what? I think I want to go back to what you said earlier. You thought that he hurt us, so he had to pull out all the stops. He had to say, "Hey, I want this. This is mine." You know what? He delivers. He made it happen.
Yep. I
Beautiful.
think after that, he definitely deserves that.
Amen to that. All right. Well, that is gonna be it for the Overwatch PlayStation Tournament All-Star Game, and Weeabooology is gonna be your MVP for this game. All right. And I hope that whoever was watching, thank you for watching, and I want you all to have a wonderful night, morning, whatever time it is for you, and happy holidays.